Okay, in this video I'm just going to highlight some of the difference between the InScope Studio tutorial and the updated versions of Unity. So just make sure when you start Unity you create a 2D project and create it that way. Once you get the project created, you can create folders. That works just fine like in the tutorial. For downloading the sprites from this website, I've actually downloaded and set up the zip files here so you can actually download them right here. Then just uncompress the zip files. And then you can just import those files into your sprites folder here. You can just drag and drop them in there or import them, whatever. They show both in the videos. Now, one thing just to note, it's a little different, is that the free tile set folder has a bunch of different types of it. It has these tiles in a number of different formats, and we will only use the PNG format. So you can just, if you wanted, you can just drag in the PNG folder, or you can go inside there and then there's background, objects, and tiles, and then you could just drag and import those. I've imported just the PNG files here, actually imported them all and deleted the other ones. But we just need these, and you'll actually see in his video he has these in the upper level version of the sprites, and then he has this labeled as character, just so you know. Okay. You should be able to create the animation just as he shows. That should work out fine. So you can create the animation here and drag that in here. It'll ask you where you want to store the animation, and again, so he actually, by default, it used to store it here. Now you can actually switch this back to the animations folder and call this your character animation, so, or your idle animation. Now this will create both, so it's both the idle animation and the idle controller here. We just are going to we'll need multiple animations, but we'll just need one controller that we'll use for everything. So I'm going to rename this like it does, character, controller, and I'm going to put it into the controllers folder. So then we'll be creating more animations to put in there, but we'll always just use this one character controller. So I guess that is a little different than what's shown in the video. Okay, the first, most of the first 5 videos work fine. When you get to the 5th video, again, you're creating an animation. So you select the run animation stuff, and again, you drag it onto the screen here. And now it asks you to save this animation, which is a little different. So just make sure you can just save it. You used to save it in the default place, and you had to move it. Now you can just switch it over to animation and just call it run animation here. Now you will want to go into, again, it creates this character. You don't need the run animated character. And then if you go into animation, it also creates a controller, and we only want one controller, and we already created a controller earlier and put it in here, named it player controller. So you can just get rid of this run controller, because all we need is the animations from that. So whenever he shows you that, just know that Unity now requires you to save the animation where you want, rather than by default in the same folder where you were at. Now when you're doing the working on animations in the controller, so I've brought my run animation here, I've created the link here. One thing you see is that by default the settings, he has the settings shown, and by default the settings aren't shown. So when I click on that, I do have to expand the setting, and then I can reset these exit time and stuff like that. So make sure you open up the settings, otherwise it should be similar. Okay, and then some quick hints on debugging. So with the run animation, you should be able to get it to work following the script pretty closely. The tutorial. Some things to watch is that make sure that your parameter here is speed and that it's case sensitive, and so you refer to it the same way in your code there. If you have this set up in your code, you should see when you run your game, if you leave your animator script open and you move back and forth, you should see the speed actually change. So as I run, I see that speed change. And then assuming you have your inspector set up, your controls conditions set up on your different transitions, it should work. So let me know if you have any trouble, but that should work smoothly, hopefully. So those are the main issues. Again, not much different. I think you should be able to follow these tutorials pretty well with the current version of Unity. Let me know if you have any questions or have any issues. Good luck.